There are things we all take for granted, things we learned in school, read in books, or heard from someone who sounded absolutely sure. But more than half of those facts aren't true at all. Today, we're uncovering 10 stories where lies became the truth. Let's dig in. You might find that the world you thought you knew starts to shake a little. Let's start with the most famous line in history. Let them eat cake. Marie Antoinette's legendary arrogance, right? The quote that supposedly fueled the French Revolution. But she never said it. That line appeared in a book by Rousseau, written before she was even born. It was a line from an unnamed princess. Later generations just needed a symbol of the arrogant rich, and she became the perfect target. The most infamous quote in history was a fake. And now, the short man himself, Napoleon. We all imagine a tiny emperor with a big ego, but actually, he was slightly taller than average for his time, about 168 cm. So where did this myth come from? A unit mix-up. British inches got confused with French feet, but the joke was just too good, and the myth stuck forever. The truth? He wasn't a short emperor. He was just a short misunderstanding. Now, let's talk about something we eat every day. The sandwich. The story says he invented it so he could eat while gambling, right? A symbol of laziness. But in reality, the Earl of Sandwich wasn't a gambler. He was a workaholic running naval administration all night. To keep working without getting ink on his hands, he placed meat between two pieces of bread. The sandwich wasn't born from laziness, it was born from overwork. Every quick lunch we eat today carries the legacy of a man who worked through the night. And this elegant word, etiquette, we think of it as manners, sophistication, high society, but its origin was not so elegant. In 17th century Versailles, nobles often relieved themselves anywhere in the royal garden. The gardener was furious, so he posted a sign that said, "Etiquette, do not cross this line." That warning became a symbol of order and rules, and later evolved into the word etiquette. Its true origin wasn't royal grace. It was the gardener's anger. Let's go dark for a moment. Vampires. We all think they burn in sunlight, right? But that's pure Hollywood fiction. In the original novel, Dracula could walk during the day, just weaker, not dead. The first time a vampire burned in sunlight was in the 1922 film Nosferatu. It looked so dramatic that it became a permanent rule. The real Dracula wasn't created by Hollywood. This word is so natural in our daily lives. Cool. You're cool means stylish, confident, impressive. But in 1950s American jazz culture, cool meant the complete opposite, a person with no emotion. It described someone calm, expressionless, and detached. But that calmness looked stylish, and the meaning flipped completely. Cool began not as style, but as stillness. Hiding your emotions somehow became attractive. Now this terrifying symbol, the pirate skull flag. We know it as a sign of death and danger, but real pirates used it for a different message. Surrender, and we'll spare your life. It was a flag for negotiation, a final warning before bloodshed. When they truly meant to attack, they raised a red flag instead. No mercy. So the skull and bones wasn't a death threat. It was a peace offer. Now for something more philosophical. Poison and potion, opposite meanings, right? But they come from the same Latin root, potio, meaning to drink. In the Middle Ages, the line between medicine and poison was blurry. It all depended on the dose. A little healed you, too much killed you. Maybe good and evil are just like that, a matter of one sip. The same substance can save one person and destroy another. Have you ever noticed this? In almost every watch ad, the time is set to 10:10. It's not a coincidence. The hands form a smiling face, a V of positivity, and it never covers the brand logo. It's the perfect balance of design and psychology. 10:10 triggers a quiet sense of happiness. We see it, and feel good, without even realizing why. And finally, the white wedding dress. We were all taught that white means purity, but that's marketing. Queen Victoria wore a white gown at her wedding, and the world fell in love with it. People thought, I want to marry like a queen. And just like that, a trend was born. It wasn't about purity, it was about fashion. The white dress worn by brides everywhere started from one queen-style choice. The world is full of stories designed to make us believe. Short, lazy, arrogant, rich. Sometimes it was politics, sometimes just a translation mistake. That's how lies became truths. But today, you lifted the veil a little. How many of the things you believed were simply lies that looked true? Marie Antoinette never said that line. Napoleon wasn't short. The sandwich wasn't about laziness. Vampires didn't fear the sun. The pirate flag offered peace. And the white dress? Just a trend. So next time the world whispers a fact, ask yourself, is that really true? Truth is far more complicated and far more fascinating than we think. And maybe some of the truths you believe today were just stories someone made up long ago. See you next time. Let's break another truth together.